it's feeling more like a market and less like a scene.
Just with where we're at in Nashville, how would you describe like the music scene or like even just kind of culturally what's going on in Nashville right now? Is there anything specific that comes to mind?
I have an interesting perspective on it because I was so deeply involved in the music industry, like back, early Nashville days, or I guess this generation, early Nashville. And then it's changed so much. And I've left the music, industry for the most part. So I'm not like, I don't have a continuous point of view, as someone who, has been in 20 years of Nashville. I left and came back and went to LA and did different things.
Yeah.
So, I think I have a unique experience and I may not be able to speak like most broadly, but I feel like it's a lot of, I mean, there's corporatization. That definitely feels, that's the bad part, I would say. And this is not Nashville's fault. This is just what the way it works, and the music
Totally.
industry and all that is kind of suffering, and Nashville's growing and that, but it's not. It's bearable, and there are some perks to it. We've got great venues coming in, and all that. But
Yeah.
it's not. It's feeling more like a market and less like a scene. And there it used to be a scene, and there were multiple scenes, and now it's like, oh, this is a market. Like, where's the scene? Is there a scene under here? Um,
Oh,
and there's some new scenes, like, and I think there's competing scenes and there's new scenes, and then there's new markets. And so I feel like there's some confusion where, and then you add to that the confusion of what's happening amongst artists in general and TikTok and what do I do and how do I even make it and the dilution of everything. And, it's everything's changing so fast. It's kind of like quicksand. So I
yeah.
feel like Nashville has lost a little bit of its, like, I want to say soul, because its soul is still there, but there's more
Mm,
no, let's call it back, right?
yep,
It's like it's if Nashville's a radio station, its signal got turned down. And so there's more noise now. And
yep,
it's like, oh, there's so much. Whereas in the past, I mean, it was a thing. It was just one thing. And that thing was so loud. And yeah, it had its reputation and certain people didn't come here, but it, just really froze that light into that archetype and identity of what it was. And
mhm,
now I think those other frequencies are coming in. Um, and
yep,
I think that's a phase of like of of evolution, more chaos, and there's opportunity. Things are being torn down and built up, and it's exciting as it ever has been to live in Nashville, more exciting probably than it's ever been to live in Nashville. But in terms of, yeah, I would say more noise, like less identity, than it was back
yeah.
in.
So we gotta turn the knob. We gotta dial in the frequency. Uh,
Turn it up,
turn it
turn the
up.
sub up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I love it. And it makes a lot of sense, man. And I think hopefully through the noise because you're right, there is opportunity and in like a somewhat chaotic, maybe undefined moment, there's opportunity to for something new to rise from that. And I think it comes from, you know, people taking time to align with intentions and even just being intentional themselves. You know, if people are participating here in Nashville, whether it's, you know, different subgenre scenes or whatever it is, that if it comes from a place of intention that that offers the opportunity for alignment, and then the volume knob can be turned up, so to speak.
Well, that alignment then creates resonance. It's the same thing. It's a spike in a node. So when those two frequencies that are the same or in alignment come together, then it multiplies that amplitude and it
Yeah.
sets the volume up. And I think, you guys have done such a great job of that. And, ever since I moved back to Nashville, I've told y'all that and that, Nashville, like, I mean, it certainly didn't have that scene, but even more than that, there's an identity like there is a kind of stratified. Again, Nashville's an EDM market now. That's cool. Like I get to
Mm,
see a couple of DJs that I want to see here and there, but it's also a scene, which is different. And that scene kind of has an intention, and it's like it's got a identity, and it's varied and it's morphing, but like, I think that's cool to see that developing. I think there's a lot of noise, but I think that this thing will like settle in, and Nashville will grow kind of into that next size of its evolution of like of market size, creative output. Um, it'll be interesting. Yeah.